there, I'm Erica Johnson, and this is my project-based learning launch video. My project is called Paper Bag Plays, and this is a project that I would do with middle school theater students, grades 7 and 8, class that I would see for 9 weeks for 35 minutes a day, and I think this project would probably last around 4 weeks. The premise of the project is that students are going to each receive a paper bag. And in the paper bag, there's going to be 4 props or 4 random objects. And the group will be faced with a challenge. They will need to write a 5 to 7 minute play using all the props in the bag as inspiration. Each prop must be used at least 2 times, and each group member must portray a well-developed character. The play must be performed from memory. But how will they do it? To be successful in this task, students will need to plan, write, rehearse, and perform. In project-based learning, the driving questions are really key. So, for this project, there are 4 main driving questions. What are the steps involved in developing a play? What elements need to be included in a script? How should a script be formatted? And how do you prepare to perform a play? Step 1, plan. Just like when students are learning to write stories, there are a lot of elements in the plot that need to be considered. There's character, conflict, resolution, and setting. And to help students to think about this and really plan in advance, they're going to be using a graphic organizer from the website Read, Write, Think. Using this graphic organizer, the group will take a look at character, conflict, resolution, and setting. And they'll be able to think through all those different elements and plot them out on this website. And it's neat because it's not just like writing with paper and pencil. They get to interact with the internet, and when they're done, they'll be able to print it out. They can't save it on this website, but they can print it out, and then I'll be able to look at their maps and give them some feedback. After the students have plotted out their character, conflict, resolution, and setting, then they will make a chart of the plot. After they've thought through those different elements, then they'll be able to really plot out what happens first and second and so forth in the sequence of the story. The students will use this film strip graphic organizer to write out the different events that happen in the story. And after the planning stage is done and the students have a good idea of all the elements of the plot, they are going to move on to the actual writing phase. The students will type their scripts using the correct formatting, and the groups will access the class wiki page to write their script and find useful videos and examples. The class will be using a wiki page to write their scripts, and the home page of the wiki page is actually going to serve as a lot of information to help the students when they're writing their script. And so I've included some video links here, like how to write a play, formatting a play, and then there's also there's a video clip and some things that will help. The video, How to Format a Play Script, will give students an idea of how to actually go about formatting their script, because it's different than writing a story or a poem or any other writing they've done previously. So here's a clip of that video.
Hi, this is Laura, and today I'm going to talk now ways to format a play script, and this is just one way that I'm telling you in which to do it. The hardest thing about starting to write a play is figuring out first how to exactly put it on the page. This that I show you here, this is page 1 of the play that I've written, is pretty much standard play format. You can sort of number your scenes in any format that you would like. The only thing that really matters is consistency. Here I have tabbed in 5 tabs and written scene 1 in base letters, the capital letters. In italics, I have written the stage directions, so the action the actors are going to be taking on stage, and the description of what the stage looks like when the lights rise. So here we have its rise on Mrs. Haight's classroom, prison-like feel, seemingly colorless and cold. capitalize Hate's name because she is in the scene, and she's going to be actually capitalized throughout the rest of the play, so she needs to be sort of highlighted within the stage directions so she can also know where she's going to go, and also where she's sitting. Kate is sitting upstage center of the room behind a large desk, which hides her own bigness behind it. Okay. So you see sort of why.
Students are also going to get a group page that they're actually going to be able to use to type up their script. And the cool thing about Wiki is that students will be able to save it and access it from home, or take turns with it, and they won't have to necessarily like log on and off of the computer like they would have to if they were just working on like a Word document. The next step is that students will need to rehearse with their groups. And as they're rehearsing with their groups, they're going to need to practice with the scripts and the props. The actors are going to work to use their voice, body language, and movement to enhance their character. During the rehearsal process, groups will be evaluated by other groups using the criteria for success form. The criteria for success form is basically an evaluation that each group is going to use to evaluate all the other groups. And they're going to take a look at how well the groups are performing. Do they speak clearly and fluently? Is there a conflict in the story, and is there a resolution? And the groups are going to evaluate each other, and then they'll be used to give feedback to each group as they're continuing to work and they're trying to make improvements. Now, after the groups have performed for each other and they've gotten feedback from their peers, then they should basically start to get off of the script and start to do everything more from memory, because ultimately they had to perform from memory. And the last step is to perform. After a lot of rehearsal, the students will be ready for this. And remember, the groups will have to perform from memory, and each prop does have to be used at least 2 times. Now, the students are also going to be assessed using a rubric, and the rubric is going to score them in several areas, including performance, group work, and the written scripts. Each student will fill out their own form and then I will go through and assess each student individually, even though it has been a group effort all along. But I'll be able to kind of judge how each student did. And I'm going to look at, for the script writing part, conflict and resolution, format, spelling, and grammar. And then for performance and group work, I'll be looking at how focused they were on the task, their acting, and then their speaking. Now, the skills that the students have been working on in this project are, of course, a part of the Michigan standards and benchmarks, both for theater and for technology. Students will be performing and creating and analyzing theater work. And as far as technology goes, students are going to be creating an original project, and they're also going to be using collaboration using the wiki. So that's going to tie in those 2.0 technologies. And basically, overall, the students at the end of this project will have learned a variety of skills, and they'll be incorporating those 2.0 technologies, and hopefully they will have answered the driving questions.